So we have another question. Lithium exists as lithium 6 and lithium 7 in a ratio 2:25. Calculate the relative atomic mass of lithium. So this time around, we are giving in a form of ratio. In a previous example, we look at percentage calculation, fractional calculation, even when the percentage is not given, or when the abundance is not given. Is that okay? So AR of lithium is equal to the summation of the mass of the first isotope of lithium times the first ratio, or H ratio, plus the mass of the second isotope of lithium times the ratio of the second one divided by the total ratio. Is that okay? Now looking at the question, the ratio of lithium 63, lithium 6 to lithium 7 was given as 2:25. So it means that the ratio for lithium 6 is 2 and then that of 7 is 25. Is that okay? So once we get here, we do substitution. So we have the summation of the mass. So in a question, are we given the mass? No. So in questions that the masses or the atomic mass is not given or the isotopic mass is not given, we use the mass number of the elements of the isotope. Is that okay? So the mass number for this one here is 6 and then the mass number here is 7. So we are going to use the mass number for our masses anytime that isotopic mass or the atomic mass is not given. Is that okay? So we have the summation of the mass of the first one, that is 6, times its ratio. The ratio here is 2, plus the mass of the second one, 7, times its ratio is 25. All divided by the total ratio is 2 plus 25. Is that okay? Now, our AR of lithium will be equal to what? This is just a simple mathematics calculation. Is that okay? So we have 6 times 2. 6 2 is 12. So we have 12 plus 7 times 25. And that is 175 divided by 2 plus 25. That is 27. Is that okay? So we have 12 plus 175. That is equal to 187 divided by 27. So we are going to divide this by 27. And then what is our answer? So we are going to get, this is equal to 6.92 or 93 to the nearest approximation. Is that okay? So therefore the AR of lithium is equal to 6.93. It's equal to 6.93. So in situations whereby the percentage abundance is not given, we can equally use the ratio if the ratio is stated. Is that okay? In this same question, we can also ignore the ratio and use the abundance in terms of fraction or in terms of percentage. Do you want us to try? So let's ignore the ratios given to us and then let's try and find the abundances of lithium 6 and then lithium 7 if its relative atomic mass is 6.93. Alright, so if the AR of lithium is equal to 6.93, we have to find the percentage abundance of lithium 6 and lithium 7. Is that okay? Please, are you following? So in our previous question, I said anytime you are given such a question to find the abundance, whether in terms of percentage or in terms of fraction, we said let a variable represent one of the abundance. Is that okay? So let x, so let's say x or y, any variable, let's say z, represent the percentage abundance of lithium 6. So once this represents the percentage abundance of the first one, the second one abundance becomes 100 minus that variable. Is that okay? And if also we are talking about the fractional abundance, and if this one is z, so in terms of fraction, if one is z, the other one becomes 1 minus z. Is that okay? The rest is substitution. So we then write AR of lithium is equal to the summation of the mass of the first isotope times the abundance plus the mass of the second isotope times the abundance, all divided by the total abundance. So we have only two isotopes. It can be more. Is that okay? So let's use the percentage form first. So the mass here, we are going to use the mass number as I indicated. If the atomic mass or the isotopic mass is not given, we always use the mass number. The mass number here is 6 for the first isotope times the abundance of the first one we selected to be Z. Is that okay? Plus the mass of the second one is 7 times the abundance becomes what? 100 minus Z. Is that okay? All divided by the total abundance. That is 100 or the total abundance becomes Z plus 100 minus Z. This and this can cancel out. So we just write all divided by what? 100. And this is equal to the AR value is what? The AR value was given as 6.93. So once we get here, we do cross multiplication. So this one is going to eliminate this. The rest, we just expand whatever we need to expand. So 6 times Z becomes what? 6Z plus 700 minus 7Z. And this is equal to 693. So we can validate that on our calculator. 6.93 times 100. And that is 693. Is that okay? So once we get here, we do grouping of like terms. This is a linear equation with a variable. So we group all like terms. So we have 7Z minus 6Z is equal to 700 minus 693. So 7Z minus this, what are we going to get? We are going to get what? Z. So Z is equal to 700 minus, and that is equal to 7%. So our Z for the first one is equal to 7%. And what is Z? Z represents the percentage abundance of lithium-6. So the percentage abundance of lithium-6 becomes 7%. How do we get the percentage abundance of the other one? That is 100 minus Z. So it becomes what? 100 minus 7. And that is equal to what? 93%. Is that okay? Very simple. We can equally use the fractional abundance form. It's the same thing. But instead of this side, so if we try to use a fractional abundance as well, we have our relation is equal to the summation of the mass of the first one, 6, times the abundance, we said is Z, plus the mass of the second one, 7, times the abundance, 1 minus Z. Is that okay? All divided by 1, because we're talking about fraction. Is that okay? Fractional abundance. So we do cross multiplication to eliminate our 1 here. So we are going to get 6.93 is equal to 6Z plus 7 minus 7Z. Is that okay? So what do? We just group like terms. So we are going to get 7Z minus 6Z is equal to 7 minus 6.93. 7Z minus 6Z to give us what? Z. Is that okay? And then we can do our substitution here. 7 minus 6.93. And the answer is 0.07. So 0.07 is the fractional abundance for the first one. Is that okay? 0.07. So Z, or the fractional abundance for lithium-6 is 0.07. How do we know the fractional abundance of lithium-7? That is 1 minus Z. And 1 minus Z is what? 1 minus 0.07. And what is the answer? So our answer minus 1, we have 0.93. So this is the fractional abundance for lithium-7 and then the fractional abundance for lithium-6. So we can use the percentage form or the fractional form to calculate the abundances if it is not given as well. Please, you can try any question, and if you have any challenging question, you can let me know in the comment section. Thanks for being with me today. We shall meet again